Right, where did I leave the handsaw? It sure doesn't look like it's straight to me. We have brought, I have brought, we have brought, we have all. Anyway, the first plywood plates for the engine encasing. Very exciting to see if they fit. Doesn't seems to fit. It's too long. But they're a little bit wide here. That's not easy, but it has to be done. As mentioned, when I drained the coolant from the heat exchanger, I said that I needed a new gasket for this drain screw. It should not be made of copper, and the reason for that is that copper and water will react with aluminium. This one is okay. It's not super fitting, but it's okay. There it is, there it is. Back in the yard again. In about 100 days or so, we should have spring with reasonable temperatures. We have to continue the work, of course. So when spring comes, we are ready to do work that requires hotter temperatures. Like I said yesterday, this support is coming in the path of installing the exhaust fan, and I will change also the gasket underneath here from the heat exchanger because the gasket is leaking. This is the new gasket, and then I first now need to dismount the turbo, which is a little bit of hassle because there are some very inconvenient screws around here. So also I will change the exhaust fan because, as you can see here, it has been heavily corroded. Not only is this surface no longer flat, but also see the thickness on this versus this. So it is a lot thicker, the new one. So the previous owner installed this engine new, but those installing it forgot to install the sip-on valve, and it meant that the raw water was actually collecting up to the level of the sea, which is about right underneath the turbo here. So I guess the turbo has been standing almost in water. If it had been standing in water, the engine had also been ruined. But I see no traces of ruining inside the engine. Oh, come on. Can't I screw this with the hands? No. Also here we have a new gasket due to the fact that it's getting worn. It's so amazingly stupid. How the hell are we going to get this screw in when it's really not possible? All this work for very little. We now have the exhaust band in place with new gasket on the turbo and the exhaust band, so that should maybe be okay for now. Let's also get this in place. That is just to protect from a very hot surface on the exhaust side of the turbo. Then we can get this mounted. I guess we can continue by making templates for the plates that will be on the side of this, in front and on the side, and in the stern I need to think a little bit. Should I make some kind of round off, or should I continue all the way back here? That's a good question. A quick status on the yellow hose, the old hose. This is my father's old apartment. He is now in a nursing home, and it's my challenge to make this apartment ours. It will mean we have to, of course, sell the other house that we have, but that's life. We can't live several places at a time. I've set aside some furnitures. This is giveaways. I almost cleaned up everything in this, what we call winter garden. So now I've fired up to have some heat in here. It's not definite cold, but the wallpaper need to be changed. That is about 40 years old and is done. I don't think we can save that. This room has always been a room of no use, which is sad because it's a really nice little room. We have a fireplace there, and this could be sort of storage room for food that doesn't need too much refrigeration, so we could potentially have a kitchen in here. We may extend the room a little bit. This is a very old part of the house, this structure, this bearing, what we call it, structural part. It's probably dating back to 17 something. I'm afraid these books are garbage. I hate to throw away books, but that is what I have to do when no one wants them. It's not very interesting video stuff, so I will not take any video of this yet. We are in the car, Sylvie and I, my lovely wife, and we are going to the summer house because there is a lot of snow and it has been gathering for the last week or so, and it's reported mild weather. So we need to make sure that there is not too much snow that will be heavy when the rain comes on Sunday or Monday, and of course also that including the boat. This is soft rope. Look at the ocean. It's filled with snow. It's lovely. Where should we place the camera? Maybe here? Remember, I'm doing all this for you, so please consider leaving a like. Even the lock has frozen, but okay, it works. Good morning. It's a wonderful but very cold morning. Looking forward to coffee. Now enjoying shuffling the roof above the bathroom and the kitchen. Back in the harbour again. It's a wonderful day at the coast of Norway, western Norway, with slightly rain. Let's go to the boat and see if we could get anything done, and also to turn on the dehumidifier machine. And everything is just ice now and nice wet. This device, it's obviously dangerous. I have to be very careful, I know that. I could build a much sturdier installation, but I do not wish to exploit what the harbour grants me here, because I'm already flexing the regulations a little bit, because I have progress. I'm allowed to have the boat here as a project, but normally that's not allowed, and that is because many people start their project and they just end, and the boat remains for years and years, which is a huge problem for the harbours. That is such an example. Has been there for years, and the owner doesn't seem to care about it. But still the harbour cannot remove it legally. Ooh. One of my viewers described the situation of having very little space around the engine as boat yoga. A very describing and funny comment, I think. No? It's not happy. That's good. Then it's running on low speed, which is normally enough to have the boat decondensated. I think I must have gotten 8 or 10 comments. I believe the bolts are not strong enough for this, and I will obviously have to look into that, and I will do that. But that will not be a big issue yet. My cousin is an expert on a lot of things, and I can ask him if he knows anything about this, or I could ask the suppliers. It's moisture on my glasses. All right, that's the first. The second, I need to remove that 90-degree bend as on the outside. This will be installed somewhere around here, and obviously then I do not need a 90-degree bend, which was previously installed while the engine did not have any filter for the raw water. It went directly into the pump on the engine, which is not a good practice. So obviously I'm changing that for this filter, and I then need to remove the bend and to have this pointing straight up. Not maybe straight, but yeah. The exhaust muffler will need to be left somewhere deep in the boat. So I will need to leave this further out somewhere around here. Not sure exactly how. It needs to be deep in the boat. Then I will not go back to the old system because that was far back in the boat, and according to installation instructions, the total length of the exhaust muffler and the hose included should not exceed 3 meters, and the old one did that by quite a lot. I guess a meter too much. So it will mean I will move that exhaust through hull. I will move it from the aft of the boat to one of the sides, and I will place it a little bit higher up, and I will make a bend of the exhaust pointing upwards and then down. Enough babbling, blah blah blah. Let's start, I guess, by making the sides. Yes. There we have the first one. Can we use this? Then it's a question of getting this off. That's a little bit harder, I guess. Yes. Good, good. There we are. So I will need something to glue that. Not to glue it, but to have it watertight. So that's for later. Something like that. Good, good, good. Right, and there we have the next one, the next template. It doesn't have to be very complicated. And remember, this is not a rocket ship. Yes, not sure this is the smartest move, but I'm doing it to get this out. Let's see. Remember, I am deliberately making these a little bit large now so I can, for new plants, cut them later. And to the car. I'm back in the boatyard, and as you can see, if you're very sharp to see in the video, this sort of noise cancelling stuff, at one moment I have it, at the next moment it's completely gone. And it was plenty of snow. Now the snow has been raining away, it's just some ice and small amounts of snow left here and there. So I was planning to go and look for it, to see if it's possible to recover it. It was somewhere around here it came missing. Basically down there, I guess. Nope. I was quite certain I was about here, and I may have gone over here. Wait a minute. This is actually it. Nice. Hopefully this can be washed clean. Wow, I didn't really expect to find it. It's so possible to lose it. It's blowing wind or going to the sea, someone shoveling snow. Yeah, I am an expert on messing up the messing, like making a mess in the garage. Now I know I have to clean, because we're going to cut the plate to the engine encasing. So let's go ahead. Let me show you the Christmas present I got from my Nelly daughter-in-law, Johanna. It's this, and it's a magnetic van which I can keep tools. Everything that's useful can be attached here. This might be overdoing it a bit, but you get the picture, right? Right, where did I leave the handsaw? First I need to draw some lines. Let's have a look. This is the templates I've made for the engine encasing. I must remember to leave a little bit space for what the jigsaw ate of the plywood. So let's do the marking. Do I have something to draw with? I could use this high performance Artline 70. Xylene free. It doesn't smell at all. It's not fun, but okay. Right. It sure doesn't look like it's straight to me. There is always a possibility of adjusting afterwards. Leo in Samson boat would never have accepted this. Luckily, he is not in charge around here. That being said, Teleho is a masterpiece. Really a masterpiece. I have had great joy of following that channel and the work they have done. That should complete the first and the forward plate of the engine encasing. Yes, that's about correct. As today it's Tuesday, and it is Web Tuesday, meaning I visit my friend. We make web pages just for fun, just to learn something more, broaden our perspectives. We make them in a programming language called Astro. It's good for me when I'm starting to approach the age of 60 to learn new stuff. Prior to that, I will visit my father to read the paper together with him. It's one of my favorite things a day. And before that, I will make dinner for my lovely wife. Excellent. Back in the harbor again and in the boat this time. And yes, we have brought, we have all. Anyway, the first plywood plates for the engine encasing. So let's bring them. Very exciting to see if they fit. Yeah, all right. This should fit around here somewhere. Doesn't seem to fit. Wonder why. Okay. It's no masterpiece, but it's okay. It seems to be cut quite correctly. So you can see it's possible for me to stand here, to walk here. It's not that I'm going to tour in here, take hikes in the engine room, but it's sufficient space, hopefully. Then it's the next plate. It's a little bit tight. I guess we need to do some cutting. Straight line here, and it's okay here. Do you like the video so far? I'll take my hat off if you would bother to leave a like. But only if you liked the video. If you didn't like it, don't bother. It's okay. We are getting close to 5,000 subscribers, and that's amazing. It would be great if we could have some focus on trying to get the last 300 subscribers. And would you like to press subscribe to help me do that? Also, it's possible to share this video and the others with other people. Remember, subscribers is important for the motivation to make this channel and all the work that comes with it. Let's talk a little bit about the insulation. I have bought these mats of insulation. They are about 1 inch or so, maybe a little bit more on the tops. There is a layer of a heavy lead-like but still soft plate in the middle of the foam. There are foam and then a lead-like plate, very heavy, and then more foam. The point is, of course, the foam will stop high frequency noise from the engine, while the harder lead-ish stuff will stop at least some of the low frequency, because you can't just add more thick layer of foam and believe you will stop every noise, every kind of noise, because there are different properties on different frequencies. The lower the frequency, the harder it is to stop. So yeah, and the engine of course produces a lot of everything, and therefore you need to add different kind of properties also on the insulation. So soft foam, high frequency, the hard stuff, low frequency, wood, excellent for mid-range and a little bit bass-ish. That should be it. We need surface. The more surface, the better it is. What I'm planning to do, let me show you. My plan is to insulate on the inside of this plate with the foam I showed you, but also below there are lots of surface. I will very much like to add a lot of material like wood in different kinds of shapes pointing upwards, where the sort of noise waves will be entangled with different woods, different angles, and it will be absorbed by the wood. That will also add positively to catching the noise from this engine. On the top there is very little space, and that means it's not much to insulate on. So my plan is to make first a steel plate to sort of be able to put down on top of this, and steel is very hard and it will reflect much of the noise pointing downwards again. So I hope to minimize the sound getting up from the engine. I could also use plaster, but plaster doesn't like moisture very much. I could have two steel plates, but those would have to be different thicknesses, as if one steel plate starts off vibrating and there is another steel plate, it has to be different thickness, otherwise they will have the same interference curve, sort of like they will start waving at the same time. With a different thickness, they have different waving path, so that's smart. Now about this plate. This plate is the front plate. I don't have to try to get it down there because it will not fit. So I'm thinking about cutting this in two pieces, and I just have to figure out where to cut. All right. See, well, that will obviously fit, won't it? It's not fitting very well. Let's try again. It's too long. Yes, there we are. The engine encasing is now looking better. All these plates are slightly angled, so it's the most narrow on the top and more space at the lower end. Hopefully this way the sound waves will be forced downward and not upwards. Oh, I'm sitting here lacing on a Thursday morning, noon actually, or a little bit more maybe. Sarah thinks it's time for me to get to the boat, and what is the plan for today? The plan is to make two templates, one on each side in the aft part of the engine, and that should be it. So let's get to the boat. Back in the harbor again. It's actually warm. It's like 7-8 degrees Celsius. Today, as I said, I will make the templates for a plate on this side and on that side. These plates will go straight down and allow for mounting of, for example, the diesel filter, an external filter on the inside, and the water filter maybe on the outside, just above this. About here somewhere the steering position will be. I need to plan that now because I will soon stretch the cables. If I'm going to attach the engine, I need the handling cables, the gear selector, throttle cable. And I need to run somewhere here. I do not wish to have an extended dashboard. I wish to have a minimalistic dashboard. I will have a chart plotter, 12-inch. I will have the instruments for the engine. I will have the gear and the throttle modestly somewhere around here. I need to extend it a little bit, but not much. It will be like the old Norwegian fishing boats with those old diesel engine with one cylinder. Dum, 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 dum. Right, so I need to plan that. Any suggestions, I'll gladly have creative inputs. Wow. Ow! The first template is done. Very good. That was an easy one. One, two. Up. Good. That was the second one. We can continue with making these ones. Structure over there and structure over there. And those are needed both to strengthening the floor support and also to be a hatch directly above the engine. Yes, let's have a look. 54.3.5. I did cut a little bit wrong. Not 100%, not 1000% okay, but still. Right, okay. Good, good. Ooh. Yes, it will fit. Okay, heading home. Back in the garage again. We have 2 templates to cut out of a plywood plate. Let's get to the harbor. Something like that. They are a little bit wide here. This one seems to fit okay. Then I will make some kind of top, can we say top? Well, it's not really top, it's sliding down, but, and then downwards towards the shaft. And I will complete all this before any installation will start. I will take a look at that, but not today. I need to go home to make dinner for my wife and for my daughter Sarah, the editor. She needs energy to edit these videos. Okay. This is what we have time for this time, and thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, please consider to leave a like. We will be very happy with likes. That's part of what we are looking forward to, releasing a video. We are watching the likes, and we are like children full of expectations. We are getting close to 5,000 subscribers. Please consider subscribing to this channel. All right, work will continue next time in the next video, and until then, have a great life.